Assalamu alaikum students. Hope all of you are very well. Today the topic which I am going to discuss with you, that is agriculture, from your book page number 86 to 97. It is for the month of the March. The main objectives of our topic is you will be able to know about the agriculture, and you will be able to understand the types of the agriculture, and also to know about the methods of farming. The very first topic, that is about the agriculture. What does agriculture mean? It is actually the practice of cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool and other products, or you can say the dairy products. Another word for agriculture is farming. It also includes forestry and fishing that are usually included with the agriculture. As we know that Pakistan is still mainly an agriculture country, and it is almost covered 25% of the land for the agriculture purpose, and most of the people are working in the land. And you can see the other types of the work as well. Agriculture is very important to Pakistan, as Pakistan is a great exporter of food. It means that Pakistan exports more food than its imports. Some of the exports I would like to discuss with you here, that is rice, cotton, fish, vegetables and fruits, mainly oranges, mangoes and other imports, just like vegetable oil, wheat and pulses. Whenever we talk about farming, you can see that there are different ways of the farming, the methods of the farming and the types of the farming we are using in our country and in other countries as well. There are two methods of the farming which I am going to discuss here. The first one is the subsistence farming, the two ways through which the farmers easily grow crops. Subsistence farming is basically a small farming, right? It produces just enough for a family and sell any produce that is not needed, right? Their farms grow small of crops, right, and rear a small number of animals. On the other side, we have commercial farming, that is they have larger farms and make a profit, right? These are basically large farms through which the farmer could be able to get more profits, and they can go for the market as well. They have one type of main crop or type of livestock. Farming can also be done manually or mechanically, right? Manually means that the farmers, they are working by their hands for the plowing purpose, right? They are using, for the plowing they are using animals, and harvesting crops using stickles. Stickles means the steep and the sloping ground. On the other side, that is the mechanical farming, that actually use the machinery such as tractors, threshers and the other things. These are mainly used in the large farms, as you can see in our farming areas as well. There are certain types of the farm of agriculture or farming as well. Organic farming, this is the first one way, that is farmers used natural fertilizers such as manure and compost that they must from themselves, and natural methods of pest control such as crop rotation. So organic farming is basically a natural process, right? Here you are not using the artificial fertilizer, that is the natural fertilizers, natural compost and the manure which they are getting from the animal waste, right? And these all things they are growing by themselves, they are making by themselves, or they are controlling the pest by the natural process with the help of the crop rotation. As you know that crop rotation means that you are not growing one crop consistently at a particular place, right? You are changing types of the crops on that particular land. So next is the arable farming. It involves growing crops such as wheat, cereal crops and non-food crops such as cotton. Here are some of the main crops. The wheat, that is very important. Most of the country they are using is as a staple food. And what is a staple food? The food that we are using for in our routine. That is a food which we eat every day. There are two main types of the wheat, right? The first one is Vagar, that is called as a sharbati as well, and durum. Durum usually used for the making of the what do you call pasta, right? Wheat is a crop that requires flat or gently sloping land in temperate climate. It needs plenty of water and sunshine. It is best grown in well-drained clay or loam. When we talk about the wheat, you can see that Pakistan is actually ranked 8th of the wheat production in 2005. Right, it was very smaller than many of the other countries. So it produces more wheat per hectare than many other countries. Wheat is grown in every province of Pakistan, just like Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan. Mostly it grows in Punjab and Sindh because of the rich soil, right, that is present over here, specifically in the Indus areas and other rivers, the 5 rivers which are present in Punjab. So it is said that they do not grow, they do not have enough rain, right, but they have one of the world's largest linked up irrigation system, as they are getting more water from this irrigation system. Wheat is Pakistan's main crop, right, just followed by the sugarcane, cotton and rice. These 4 crops make up more than 75% of the value of Pakistan's crops. Right, as we said that wheat is important, and there are different types of the crops as well, kharif crops and the rabi crops. You can get more information from your book as well about it. Right now we are moving towards cotton. Then we talk about cotton. It needs plenty of sunshine and moderate rainfall. Right, it is a cash crop. It also needs proper irrigation system, so that we can get more water to grow more and more cotton crops. It grows best in the alluvial soil. It can be grown in arid and semi-arid areas. Right, regions are tropical and subtropical regions, that is best for the growing. But it can also grow in colder areas. Southern Punjab and central Sindh are Pakistan's main cotton growing areas. The third one is the sugar cane. That is very important cash crop. A tropical plant that can survive short periods of frost. Right, needs plenty of water and soil rich in nutrients. It is grown all over Punjab and Sindh, a small area in KPK, and little grown in Balochistan. That is, you can say, as it is also main important. In the same way, rice is also important. Rice is the traditional Asian crops. That is 90% of the world's rice is grown and eaten in Asia. So it is the staple food as well, 50% of the world's population, right, and the main food for 75% of the world's poor people. Okay, now we are coming towards the livestock farming. What is actually the livestock farming? The question arises. Livestock farming, also known as pastoral farming. Livestock means animals that are kept for produce, such as meat, milk, skins, etc. Livestock animals include goats, sheep, chicken, etc. As you can see, when we talk about the cattle, the cattle are farmed mainly in temperate climate zones. They are also kept in tropical and the subtropical regions, but not in arid or cold climates. So it is difficult to move on that places, specifically in arid and cold climate. So even some temperate climates such as Scotland, UK are suitable only for very hardy breeds. Right, cattle are often left to graze on large expanses of grassy land that is unsuitable for the growing crops. When we talk about the livestock, you can see there are different main problems of the overgrazed lands. That because of the overgrazing of the lands, the land become barren and it is unable for the crop yielding. So the grass becomes too short for the cattle to graze. Cattle trample the soil, squeezing out air, water and nutrients. So grass cannot grow and the soil is more easily eroded by wind and water. Their hooves leave 100-centimeter deep holes that fill up with the water and that does not drain away easily. So these conditions kill grass. After the water evaporates, weeds grow in the bare patches. Before I come to the forestry, I want to give you a brief intro of sheep and goats as well. That sheep, it grazes shorter grass than cattle, but they need drier conditions, right? They can graze on hills and the mountainous areas. As you move towards the northern areas, you can find it that there are sheep and the goats which are present over there, and they are grazing the land. So the next is another very important, that is the goats. Goats are an important sector of livestock farming around the world. The countries with the most goats per square kilometer are in Asia and Africa. Right now we are coming towards the forestry, that is the very important, the main factor for the growth of and the development of any country. As we can see that the world is actually covered 30% of the land, right, in forest. Forests are a large source of the income. Their trees can be used for timber or fossil fuels. So trees also provide material for paper making and latex for rubber making and ingredients for making food. If you take the estimate of the world forest areas, you can find that is around 3,952 million hectares in 2005. This was about 30% of all the land on earth. So it is a manageable land specifically for the timber and other products. It doesn't mean that the forest will be destroyed, because new trees are planted to replace those that are cut down. Okay, forests are also needed to protect the land from erosion and to slow down global warming. Pakistan has many different types of the forest at low or high elevation, or in dry or windy areas, or near wet areas such as by the shore or along a river bank. Here you can see the map, the very specific areas where the forests are found on the earth. Now we are moving towards another very important part of the agriculture, that is fishing. In the fish farming, you can see that it is a type of aquaculture, right? The fish could be caught wild or by fish farming. It is a type of agriculture as it results in fishes being raised to be sold as produce, as a food. The main fishing ports are in Karachi, Gwadar and Pasni. Mainly along the coastal areas you can find the fishing activities near the rivers, around the lakes, the aquaculture areas, right, mainly for the fresh water